evening, everyone. I welcome those in the gallery and those online to our ordinary meeting of Council, 18th of May 2026. I'm opening the meeting at 6 o'clock. The public is advised that it is Council policy to record the proceedings of meetings of Council on digital media to assist in the preparation of minutes and to ensure that a true and accurate account of debate and discussion of meetings is available. This audio recording is authorised by the Local Government Meeting Procedures Regulations 2025. I will also begin by acknowledging country. I acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Tomagina people, and to pay our respect to those that have passed before us, their history and their culture. Item 1 is record of attendance. There are no apologies this evening, but we do have a leave of absence previously approved for Councillor Kevin Hyland. Item 2.1, confirmation of minutes of the previous ordinary meeting. Council meeting, recommendation that the minutes of the ordinary meeting of the Waratah Wynyard Council held at Council Chambers 21 Saunders Street, Wynyard on Monday 27th of April 2026, a copy of which, having previously been circulated to councillors prior to the meeting, be confirmed as a true and correct record. Could I have a move? Councillor Roberts has moved and Councillor Bramage seconded. Are there any corrections of the minutes? They must be identified at this point and agreed to prior to taking the vote to adopt the minutes. Are there any amendments or questions to these minutes? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 3, declarations of interest. Councillor and agenda item number, please. Are there any declarations of interest? Staff agenda item? None this evening. Item 4, councillors' announcements and report announcements by the Mayor. I have no announcements this evening. The Mayor's communication. Item 4.2, a recommendation before you, councillors, that Council notes the Mayor's communication. Could I have Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Johnson has seconded. Are there any queries or questions, comments around my communications? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 4.3, reports by delegates. None have been received. Item 4.4, notification of council workshops. The recommendation is that council notes the following workshops. Could I have a mover, please?
Second that, Mayor.
Excuse me. Councillor Roberts moved and Councillor Bramage seconded. There is a spelling mistake there under the 11.526 caretaker election period policy. It's got caretake, so we just add an R to that. Are there any comments that anyone wishes to make around this motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 5.1, responses to public questions taken on notice from the previous meeting. None have been received. Public questions received in writing. 5.2.1, Mr McCurlin, community batteries, DC charges at the Wonders of Wynyard and solar options. The question, 3 questions were asked and there is an officer's response following that question. Sorry, that statement. Item 5.3 is public questions without notice. 5.4, public statements received in writing. None. 5.5, public statements without notice. So, Mr Ewington, you have 2 statements to make. Would you like?
Only one.
Only one, okay. 2 pages.
My loud one. Don't give me 2, are you?
Would you like to?
Just one.
Would you like to come forward,
I'm
please?
going to read your thing.
Yes, I will.
Madam Chairman,
Yeah, just a moment.
concerning the timepiece, what's happened to it? Got pinched, has it?
Possibly.
Are we going to get it back?
Yes, we will. I think
good on you.
I think it's being mended. But before you start, I will read out a statement from the council. The council encourages community participation in its meetings through the opportunity for public questions and statements. Consistent with council's core values, councillors and staff strive to ensure all people are treated with respect and integrity. We expect our residents and ratepayers to apply similar standards in their dealings with council. As Mayor, it is my responsibility to maintain the orderly conduct of council meetings and to ensure that the meeting is conducted in accordance with the council meeting procedures. This includes determining whether a question or statement is out of order due to the use of offensive, objectionable or defamatory expressions. In particular, the council meeting procedures relating to public questions and statements require that there is a time limit of 3 minutes per person to ask questions. A maximum of 3 questions may be asked per person. Any parts to questions are considered questions. All questions to be asked before a response is provided. Once a question is answered, there is to be no debate on that question. Public statements are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person, and there is to be no questions or discussions related to a statement. Ask members of the public to show proper consideration and courtesy in their comments. So, Mr. Ewington, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. Access and inclusion by all community members. Waratah Wynyard Council is a service provider for the community out of Wynyard, and high standard of communication skills is so important, providing a good, friendly service to all. Due to my retirement from running a business, took up indoor bowls in 2017 to fill my spare time and meet various people and enjoy playing indoor bowls. Location for the event is at Somerset Community Basketball Centre. There's a major issue located at the beginning of the disability walkway to the centre building, whereby there is a V drain located at the beginning of the pathway, which was causing great difficulty in wheelchair travelling through the V drain onto the pathway. Second concern was a disability parking bay located in front of the pathway to venue, preventing me safe access to wheelchair ramp. This requires assistance from playing members to assist me in travelling through the V drain to the pathway, including negotiating the parked car in front of the wheelchair ramp. At the time, I contacted the council requesting site visit about my concerns, and in response to requests from the council that the V drain was within Australian standards, whereby they will not attend this site visit discussing my issues. Reference to the disability car park and the council would not be relocated by the parking bay to a safe entry by the wheelchair to the path. The Somerset Indoor Bowling Club wrote a letter expressing their concerns about the V drain and disability parking bay caused major issues with safe wheelchair access to the pathway. Response from the council was the footpath and the V drain were built to Australian standards, and which is a guide to minimum requirements sent out for disability walkways, whereby the council could do additional work to make access better for this if required. No response to the disability parking bay from the Wynyard Waratah Council. I then made contact to the Human Rights Commission to help me with my problem with the Waratah Wynyard Council. Even after many emails to and from Waratah Wynyard Council to resolve the matter, the Human Rights Commission informed me I need to take a matter up with the Federal Court at my cost. So in conclusion, I decided to ask for assistance from members of the bowling club for crossing the V drain. Reference to the disability parking bay, asked people not to park in this parking bay. I made further complaint to the council about the parking bay, and the council made change, removing the parking bay, which took approximately 4 years from this to be located. From February 26, I once again approached the council about my problem with the V drain, located at the Somerset Community Basketball Centre, requesting site visit. To my surprise, yes, the site visit could be arranged, and at the site visit at Somerset Basketball Centre, the supervisor showed the difficulty in crossing the V drain in a wheelchair. He recognised the problem and suggested a small amount of concrete installed within the drain to take out the sharpness of the V shape into a U-shaped drain. This was completed some months later with one bag of cement covering an area of 950mm by 100mm wide by 50mm deep. And the time taken of this is less than an hour. Total hour to complete the changes for disability member to attend indoor bowls at the basketball centre has taken 9 years. In conclusion, the Waratah Wynyard Council has not recognised the need to make improvements for disability elderly members within the community to allow access and inclusion for all since 2005, when I became part of the community as a disabled member. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ewington. Are there any further statements from the floor? Questions? No, so we'll move on to item 6. Item 6 is where we opened the Planning Authority at 6:10. 6.1, public questions without notice relating to planning matters. We have not received any public statements relating to planning matters. None have been received. Item 6.3, application for planning scheme amendment, PSA 1/2025 for 319 Murchison Highway, Somerset, section 40K report. The recommendation is that council in its role as planning authority resolves that in accordance with S40K1 of the Land Use Planning Approvals Act 1993, provides a copy of this report to the Tasmanian Planning Commission and advises that 4 representations were received during the exhibition period for PSA 1/2025. In accordance with S40K2A of the Land Use Planning Approvals Act 1993, provides the Tasmanian Planning Commission a copy of the representations received during the exhibition period for PSA 1/2025, and in accordance with S40K2C of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, advises that the Tasmanian Planning Commission that the representations received during the exhibition period do not warrant a modification to the draft amendment as detailed in this report, and is satisfied that planning scheme amendment PSA 1/2025 meets with the LPS criteria. Could I have a mover for that motion, please?
So moved.
Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a second,
I'll second
please?
that.
Councillor Bramage. Councillor Roberts, do you wish to open the debate, please?
No, not much debate here. One of the hardest parts, obviously, about this job is that as the planning authority, we unfortunately do get some representations. We do understand when we read them and we do feel for people, but unfortunately we do have to follow the law as is handed down to us from state government. So the opinion is not different from the decision made. So basically the planning authority, us, will put in a statement of opinion stating that the same basis for which we made the original decision will stand in our eyes. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Johnson.
I was just going to voice my concern on a couple of representations. I have been contacted by one gentleman in particular, Mr. Thurley, and I think other councillors have too. Just on the the planning approval and that, and not probably getting their point of view across properly regarding on boundaries and fence lines and costings of I think there's a couple of applicants there, costings of what it's going to cost them for the boundary line fences and the plinths and the insurance extra costs. These people had brought both properties and for the future their lifetime property, and not thinking that would be their last expense, not having to pay whether it be 100 to 150,000 in fences regarding shared fence lines. So just a bit concerned, and obviously I know it's a planning approval for the planning land, and it's not planning approval for the subdivision. So therefore I expect the fight when the subdivision does come through. They'll have their opportunity to continue on with that, say a representation with the subdivision if it does go through. So I just wanted to note that, have that noted. Thank you.
Councillor Johnson. Deputy Mayor Edwards.
Councillor Bramage and Councillor Johnson, we met with the planner this afternoon. We went over a few things and discussed what we were feeling, and with discussions with the representatives, we realise it's a rezoning and it's not a subdivision, which we can't attach any conditions to, and the boundary fence is a hard one to attach anything to from what I'm also hearing. But once it comes to the subdivision application, then there's more conversations that we can have around it. But the Boundary Fence Act is 1908, so it'd be nice to see if that can be updated, or more discussion around it when there is a subdivision that does come. But at the moment, there is no subdivision in the making. So until that happens, I guess there'll be conversations had at that time.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Edwards. Councillor Bramage, did you wish to?
Yeah, look, I can understand the concerns raised, but we've got to stop. Remember, it's only a land amendment. That's all it is. It might never happen, but it might too. I think when it gets to a subdivision stage, it's time then we can voice our concerns or whatever. And Somerset's got to grow somewhere. And this probably seems the most logical place for it to go up there, because there's houses, higgledy-piggledy, a bit of infill and that sort of thing, And I know that's not what the applicants, the objectors want to hear, but that's the way it is, I'm afraid. And look, your fight's not over yet. It hasn't really started in that with your boundary fences and all that until the subdivision comes in. And no one knows the size of the blocks or anything like this. And being in a country area like that, post and rail fence, the barbed wire fence, who knows what the layout of the land will bring. So for that reason, I think it should go off to the Planning Commission to make the final decision. They might say no. But I guess at the end of the day, Somerset has got to grow somewhere. We did hear a while ago that Somerset's probably only got building allotments for 5 years. So we've got to look at these things, where Wynyard's probably got them for 30 years. So that's why I second the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Bramage, and thank you for your comments. Are there any further comments to this?
I'll just say in close that, as hopefully people can see tonight, that it really is, it's the toughest part of this job is reading the representations from people. It fills me with absolute great pride that people purchase properties in our region to live forever in our region, and how beautiful our region is and the way of life in our region. Something we really do try and preserve. It's one of the hardest things in community, is trying to find the right balance of development and tradition, really. And I'm actually hoping, I hope the representatives actually get the result they're wishing for through the commission. I really do. We ourselves are hamstrung by law ourselves as to what we can do as a planning authority. So there's no world of grey for us. It's very black and white in writing. And I would hope that the commission itself does find in favour of the representatives. But as it sits as a planning authority, I will pass this motion and I will do it, even if it's something that I don't want to, because unfortunately that's a part of the job. But I do wish is the best success in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. Item 6.3 was moved by Councillor Roberts, seconded by Gary Bramage. Councillor Bramage, I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item 6.4, application for planning scheme amendment, PSA 2/2025 for 5 to 7 George Street, Wynyard, and proposed childcare centre, DA 1842025, section 40K and section 42 report. The recommendation is that Council, in accordance with S40K1 and S42A of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, forwards a copy of this report to the Tasmanian Planning Commission and advises that 1, representation was received during the public advertising of PSA 2/2025 and DA 184/2025. In accordance with S40K2A and S42B of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council provides the Tasmanian Planning Commission a copy of the representation received during the public advertising of PSA 2/2025 and DA 184/2025. That in accordance with S40K2C of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council advises the Tasmanian Planning Commission that it is satisfied that Planning Scheme Amendment PSA 2/2025 meets the LPS criteria. That in accordance with S42C of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council provides the Tasmanian Planning Commission a copy of the recommended permit conditions for DA 184/2025 shown in the attachments to this report. Could I have a mover for this motion, please? Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a seconder? Councillor Raw. Councillor Roberts, do you wish to open the debate on this item, please?
It's the exact same comment as before. It's very similar that the Planning Authority provides a statement of opinion to the Tasmanian Planning Commission that states that the Planning Authority's opinion has not differed from the decision. So again, I wish the representatives all the best, I really do. But this one will go through to the Planning Commission for them to make a final judgment. So best of luck to them, truly.
Thank you. Are there any speakers against this motion, please? Any further speakers for the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 6.5, application for planning scheme amendment, PSA 1/2024 for Golf Links Road, Wynyard and associated 12-lot subdivision SD 2191, section 40K and section 42 report. The recommendation is that Council, in accordance with S40K1 and S42A of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, forwards a copy of this report to the Tasmanian Planning Commission and advises that 1, representation was received during the public advertising of PSA 1/2024 and SD 2191. In accordance with S40K2A and S42B of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council provides the Tasmanian Planning Commission a copy of the representation received during the public advertising of PSA 2/2025 and SD 2191. That in accordance with S40K2C of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council advises the Tasmanian Planning Commission that it is satisfied that Planning Scheme Amendment PSA 1/2024 meets the LPS criteria. That in accordance with S42C of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council provides the Tasmanian Planning Commission a copy of the recommended permit conditions for SD 2191 shown in the attachments to this report. Could I have a move of that motion? Councillor Roberts has moved and seconded Deputy Mayor Edwards. Councillor Roberts, do you wish to open the debate, please?
Exactly what I've just said twice before. I wish them the best, and hopefully the Commission comes to a decision that suits people. So, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further speakers against this motion? Any further speakers? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Our Planning Authority now concludes at 6:24. Item 7, matters raised by councillors, responses to councillor questions taken on notice from the previous meeting. Nil received. 7.2, councillor questions received in writing. Nil received. And 7.3, councillor questions without notice. Are there any councillor questions? Deputy Mayor Edwards.
I just had a question. Well, the question is, was the after hours number on the weekend out of order or anything? Because I had someone who gave me a call where they tried to get through and they weren't able to get through. And as Mayor Dunyam knew, I had to give her a call because I was unable to do the call myself, and she put it through through the feedback form, but we couldn't get through.
I'll have to take that on notice. I'm not aware of it being out.
So, yeah, it seems to be in the rough weather. We don't seem to be able to get through each time when we're trying, that's all. So, yes.
I don't believe we haven't heard anything to say that it was out, but we'll investigate and take it on notice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. And what it is possible to report anything online, and they're fairly quick at responding. So, and that's what they did at the weekend. So, yep, thank you, Deputy Mayor Edwards. Any further questions without notice? Councillor Courtney.
I've had a chance to look through the state government's AI draft policy. It seems to be more about trying to draw investment into Tasmania and about use of AI. Doesn't seem to have anything that I was hoping to look for that would safeguard the priority of residents and farms for water. So just wondering whether we could bring that to a workshop and whether we could check with Tas Water to see if they have any safeguards to prioritise water supply for residents and farms and businesses over coming AI centres. So just whether there's any safeguards in Tas Water, and if there's not, could we please bring the policy back so that we can start discussing it, because I'd like to do that before it terms up.
If I could defer to the CEO.
Through you, Mayor, we have got Taswater coming to a workshop in June,
Yes.
so you'll be able to ask that question there. I will let them know in advance that that is something that they would need to discuss.
Yes, if you could please, because I did note that was on the workshop agenda and that is something that I would like them to address at the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Councillor Johnson.
I was wondering if council maintenance footpath crew could just have a look at the footpath between or outside Artscape and to the doctor's surgery. Very uneven. It's a bit patchwork at the moment with bitumen. I'm feeling it very unsafe for elderly, wheelchairs, mums and bubs with prams, and that. I think there's a accident waiting to be happening there. So I think we need to fix the problem.
That on notice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Councillor Raw.
Yes, I was just wondering whether I could ask the CEO whether we could get a report back, or so we could have a discussion about whether workshops can be recorded, and so that we have them recorded and kept.
Through you, Mayor, the purpose of not recording workshops is so that it's to enable full and frank discussion.
Right.
Okay, thank you. So,
I suppose, yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it at that and,
Okay, thank you.
think more about that and maybe discuss it further.
okay. Are there any further questions? If not, we'll move on to item 8, notice of motion. None have been received. Item 9, the reports of officers and committees. 9.1, Arts and Culture Strategy 2026 to 2031 adoption. Recommendation is that Council notes the feedback received, the changes made to the original strategy and action plan, adopts the Arts and Culture Strategy 2026 to 2031 and the associated action plan, and seeks resourcing in line with Council priorities in future budgets and annual plans, and provides an annual progress report to the Council. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Councillor Raw has moved. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Roberts seconded. Councillor Raw, do you wish to speak to this motion?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it's great to have an arts strategy, because the arts are a strong aspect of our community and many people engage in the arts, both the visual and the performing arts. One part of it too, it was great to see the really solid community consultation and what people were adding into the strategy. And it was good to see that those, those things were incorporated into the draft. And the things that are in the strategy that I highlight or think that are great are keeping the audit up to date of our publicly owned art that we committed to purchasing. It's great to see supporting the community and engaging with the arts, whether it's as an artist or an appreciator of the arts. There are two sides to it. Great to see the supporting of high quality events that really make our community, and we're known for those sorts of things. And of course to see the emphasis on access and inclusion to the arts, arts for all. So I see it a really solid policy, and it's great to see, you know, it being presented, and that we will follow it over the next, is it 6 years or 5 years? Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Raw. Are there any speakers against this motion? Are there any further speakers for the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
9.2, community consultation, cemeteries. Recommendation before you that Council notes the findings of the community consultation regarding potential garden-style ashes interment options in Wynyard cemeteries, includes design and implementation in future budget considerations, and continues to receive annual cemetery strategy updates. Could I have a mover for Councillor Roberts has moved and Councillor Courtney has seconded. Councillor Roberts, do you wish to open the debate on this motion, please?
Look, I just will say that but the council staff did an amazing job with this, and their presentation was very informative as well. And you know, the natural landscape plaques and memorial stuff will fit in very well in Waratah Wynyard, and I'd like to see that we're being pretty like an integrated form of burial in our town. So yeah, it's great to be innovative, and I'm sure that this is the very beginning of a lot of work in this space. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. Are there any further speakers for this motion? Any speakers against the motion? If not, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 9.3, 2026 Youth Expo Report. The recommendation before you, councillors, that council notes the Youth Expo bet on your future update. Could I have a mover for that motion? Councillor Raw and Councillor Johnson seconded the motion. Councillor Raw, would you like to speak to this motion, please?
Look, it was great to read the report, and having been to the expo, I think I said at the workshop how great I thought that was such a fantastic event. So, and that's come through in the report. So excellent experience for students, and it was buoyed by the quality of the activities that the youth team had there, that the students were exposed to. And I was just going to make another comment about ongoing embedding of this into an event that happens regularly. And I don't think it's the sort of event that should happen yearly, but I think it's something that we maybe should try and hold every 3 to 4 years. And I understand that it is another huge event that staff have to, you know, accommodate and do, and that can be a very stressful thing. But the costing, whether we could just put aside, say, about $15,000 a year, run the event every 3 years, and just have the money there so it's not a burden of a yearly cost. So I suppose my comments are, yes, fantastic thing. It was done great, great work by the staff, and if we could look at embedding that as an ongoing event, I think it would be well valued.
Thank you, Councillor Raw. Are there any further speakers? Councillor Johnson.
I too had the pleasure of going to see this expo. Over 237 children, 60 drop-in children after hours, which was thoroughly supported, and totally recommended to be ongoing, whether it be yearly or every 5 years, but a good innovation.
Thank you for that feedback. Are there any further speakers? Councillor Roberts.
I just want to credit Steph and Emily and Dill and pretty much Bronwyn and Lucy and just everyone in that department. And Alan Catamol as well. They do an incredible job in community, and it's great to see things like this sort of cracking along. So Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Are there any speakers against this motion? If not, I put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 9.4, Festive Season Decorations 2026. The recommendation before you is that Council approves the selection of additional festive season town centre decorations as detailed in Attachment 1 to this report, noting variations may need to be made based upon availability and price, and includes the amount contained in the financial section of this report in the draft 2026-27 of this report in the draft 2026-27 operating budget. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Roberts has moved the motion. Could I have a seconder, please? Deputy Mayor Edwards, Councillor Roberts, please, would you like to open the debate about this?
Look, absolutely. Right. So, we've we've actually spent a lot of time talking about these Christmas decorations behind the scenes, and you'd think people could say council's probably got something better to worry about, but considering the amount of members of the public that have approached us about the Christmas decorations, and considering we're halfway through the next year and people still talk about it, that I think it's fair to say that Waratah Wynyard Council's decided to bring forward a few of the projects that we had planned over the next several years, and because obviously Christmas is taken very seriously in Waratah Wynyard, and we have, so many members of our public go through all the effort of getting in the festive spirit, and obviously we've got the Christmas lights competition as well and for the decoration. So we've sort of, the assets that we were using for decorations for Christmas were reaching the end of their life, and you sort of get to a point where, do you really want to put them up if they're not in good enough condition to do so? It can actually make the place look worse. So Council and Council community staff have done an amazing job and financed themselves, putting together a package over the next several years that Council could purchase sort of Christmas decorations modularly, a piece at a time, and then by the end roll out the whole lot. But because of the demand from public, we've had this discussion behind closed doors, and we as a council have decided that since it's so important to the public and since it's so important to the community, it's important to us as well. And the amount that's set aside in that budget is $75,000, so I reckon we should have some pretty comprehensive and numerous amounts of Christmas decorations heading into this year and next year. So, credit to the staff for that, and credit to the members of the public that bring it to us, because it'll make it happen. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. Are there any speakers against this motion, please? Are there any speakers for... Councillor Brumage.
Thank you. You see $60,000 and you think, shit, that's a lot of money. But I would like to think that money is over a 10 to 15 year period, and these decorations will get looked after and stored properly. We certainly don't want what happened last year ever to happen again. There was no decorations. So a couple of councillors jumped up and down and they got the wreath put up. Somerset had nothing apart from a Christmas tree. And they got a beautiful decoration that goes on the archway over there. Merry Christmas. It wasn't there. Don't know why. That's not wore out, I know that, because I'm not old enough to be wore out. Only thing I'm disappointed that I hope we can change it somehow, that we can put Waratah in here and spend a couple of dollars back there. Take a bit of their 40,000 and take it back to Waratah. They got a couple of poles there near the post office that Merry Christmas can go up. They have a Christmas tree, but let's put a Merry Christmas up. And we don't need to go overboard, but we've got to have something. We got one of the best Christmas parades in the state, if not the best. So let's make our street, including Somerset, look appropriate for Christmas. Not like it did last year. It was embarrassing, to be quite honest. And I didn't know our Christmas decorations was worn out to the last minute. So, but hopefully this will fix the problem.
Thank you, councillor Bramage. Are there any speakers against the motion? Are there any further speakers for the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
I just gonna have
It's closed now. Thank you, councillor Bramage. I'll go back. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously.
Is it possible to ask a question? Just a quick one, only a little one.
Well, the motion, the matter's been
That has
closed.
been closed.
Oh, well, I'll ask it after this. That's easy fix.
Fine. Okay, we'll move on to item 9.5, quarterly report, infrastructure and development services. The recommendation is the council notes the quarterly information report for the Infrastructure and Development Services Department as of 31 April 2026 and the summary findings of the 2024 environmental impact of the Australian clothing industry report published by Seamless in December 2025. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Johnson has seconded. Councillor Roberts, would you like to open the debate or discussion about this item?
I'll just say what I say all the time. The statistics, the information, the projects, the progress reports, the photos. This quarterly report has everything from how many dogs are registered to how many DAs have been approved to everything basically. So if people are wondering what's happening with infrastructure, development, civil works, what's happening down the depot as well, please read the agenda and please check these out via hard copy you can get from council or also online. So I just say it every time. I cannot encourage people enough to read these because they're very comprehensive. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. Are there any speakers against the motion? Are there any speakers for the motion? If not, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Item 9.6, mobile food vendor guidelines. The recommendation is that council adopts the reviewed mobile food vendor guidelines as presented. Could I have a mover for the motion, please? Deputy Mayor Edwards.
Seconded.
Councillor Roberts seconded the motion. Deputy Mayor Edwards, do you wish to speak to this motion?
Yeah, it's really just like a little tidy up and review of the guidelines, so it sort of outlays it a lot better and people know where they are and what they're doing. So
Thank you. Are there any further speakers to this motion?
Well, just briefly, if I may, Mayor, is it must be a fair job because there's a lot of food vendors around now, so it must be a fairly big job to keep an eye on. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Johnson.
I'll just say it's good to see a newly proposed site for Table Cape Lookout, Table Cape and Bell's Parade, which would be,
Lovely.
especially up at Table Cape, outstanding, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Any further comments? If not, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 9.7, new policy, roadside spraying policy. The recommendation before you councillors is that council adopts the roadside spraying policy as presented. Could I have a mover for that motion, please? Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Edwards. Councillor Roberts, do you wish to open the discussion on this policy?
Just stating that, as it says in the agenda, that this policy will bring us into line with standard practice statewide with other councils, and it also will allow another layer of protection for property owners when, say, contractors or council staff are spraying, that even residents can potentially sign up to a no spray register, which will, if there's so many organic farmers and people that live organically, that it actually makes a lot of sense. And just sort of modernising a little bit in line with the other councils. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Are there any further speakers to this motion? Councillor Bramage.
Just briefly, Mayor, look, I think we've been fairly good at this in the past. I didn't realise that a few years ago what it all meant. When you drive along to the country somewhere, you'll see a sign in a verge, I think is the word, no spraying. That's strange. But I've worked out what it is now. I've got a bit older and a bit more wiser and worked out what it is now. And that's it happening in all our municipalities around the state. And maybe that's the thing that will happen here sometimes, so no one can stuff it up. I think a period of time ago, we did get one stuffed up, what's the name of the road?
Seabrook Road.
Seabrook Road, that's it. Yes, you can remember that, can't you? See, thank you. And you know, we did get one stuffed up, but all good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Bramage, for reminding us of our small error.
Yeah, well, that's how, but if we got some, yeah, all right. It's closed, I can't talk.
Thank you for that. Councillor Raw.
Yeah, I did have a question from reading the stuff, the information for council meeting. But I noticed Mr Summers is not here, so I'm not sure whether anyone can answer my question. The no spray register, because this is a new policy here, I suppose maybe it has been in other councils. I mean, what percentage of people line up for the no spray register? And then they're expected to keep the weeds or whatever, or the growth to a minimum. You know, how do people keep to that policy? Is that easy to do? Yeah, it's pretty specific, isn't it?
Okay, so we will take that one on notice.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. Any further questions or comments? If not, I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Carried unanimously. Item 9.8, tender outcome contract 848 Wynyard Waste Transfer Station Site Management 2026. The recommendation is that council notes the outcome of the tender evaluation process for contract 848. Resolves to not award the contract and formally close the tender process on the basis that the process has identified an opportunity to explore an alternative service delivery model that supports potential regional collaboration through a joint authority model. Authorises the Chief Executive Officer or her delegates to enter into discussions with Dalverton Waste Management in its capacity as a joint authority to explore a potential joint management collaborative service delivery arrangement. Notes that following the decision of the existing contractor not to submit a tender or offer an extension of the current arrangement, and in the absence of any alternative conforming tender submissions, Dalverton Waste Management will commence site operations from the 1st of June 2026 on an interim basis while negotiations regarding a longer-term arrangement are undertaken, and notes that any proposed long-term arrangement is subject to a further report to council, including the successful negotiation of terms, demonstration of value for money and formal approval prior to execution. Could I have
So moved.
Sorry, Councillor Courtney, thank you. Seconded, Councillor Roberts. Councillor Courtney, would you like to open the discussion, please?
I don't think there's a discussion. Dalverton's the only one that's put in for it, and it makes sense if we're going to do it regionally to be more cost effective. So I think it's an easy one.
Thank you. Are there any further comments from the floor? Any speakers? Councillor Bramage.
Yeah, look, this is something that's got to happen very quick. It's not that far to the first now. And I guess maybe we've all heard them, maybe we haven't. There's a lot of rumours floating around out there of what's going to happen with the transfer station. I'm not aware of any changes, but I might be wrong. But there's talk of a weighbridge going in and rubbish being weighed like they do in Burnie, and it's scary because I don't know what to tell them, and hopefully that I've got much to tell them. But I guess Mission's had enough or didn't want to do it anymore. So hopefully this will be an ideal situation for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bramage.
I was just going to say,
Roberts.
right, so this flexibility, this fluidity, you know, we're very lucky for a long time. We had the same operators out of the tip, and it was very consistent for a long time. And what's happened over the last few years is the waste management levy that's been handed down by state government has really changed the face of waste management for the councils on the northwest coast. And so there might be a few rapid changes in this space over the next few years. But it is showing in line that we're quite flexible to move with the times. And, you know, with all credit to City Mission for running the tip for the past 12 months. And, you know, Dulverton are a waste management company. They specialise in waste management. So I think it's actually a pretty solid choice to go with. So, yeah, credit to them. And we might see the future of what waste management will be on the northwest coast. So thank you.
Thank you for that. Are there any speakers against the motion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 9.9, financial report for the period ended 30th of April 2026. The recommendation is that Council notes the financial report for the period ended 30th of April 2026. Could I have a mover for that motion? Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a seconder?
Second.
Councillor Johnson seconded the motion. Councillor Roberts, would you like to open the discussion?
I'll just say the same thing I say with all the reports. I cannot recommend to the public enough to read them. They have everything you could imagine. All our financial records are there as a matter of record in the agenda, and I'd encourage everyone to look at them and see where the ratepayers' money is spent. So all credit to our finance department who do an incredible job. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the recommendation, Councillor Roberts. Are there any speakers against the motion? Any further speakers for the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. 9.10, Senior Management Report. The recommendation is that Council notes, the Senior Management Report. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councillor Johnson moved. Seconded. Councillor Roberts. Councillor Johnson, do you wish to speak to this motion?
Oh, just a couple of things there. Great to see Australia Day honours Dr. James, Jim Berryman and Mr. Reece London, two great men that have been probably their life in medicine, and one's still practising, and I think Reece now is retired, but thoroughly deserved. A couple of things there. Our sponsorship, $250 sponsorship to Australian representatives, Mr. Joe Simpson, Mrs. Linda Charles and Mr. Tony Simpson have been awarded $250 for their, I think, the Australian Bowls, Western Division Bowls Association. I think that was, I'm not sure whether it's been or it's currently Port Sorrel, so congratulations to them. Another thing that I'd like, and I've just noticed there today, that I think that the start of works, I requested for the rock passage near Doctors Rocks to be looked at, and the Department of State Growth will be installing protective rockfall fencing from today. So,
Done well, young fella.
winner chicken dinner. Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, so that's good. Thank you.
They sue you too. It's actually not the Department of State Growth, it's Building Tasmania now.
Is
so
it?
the government has seen fit to
I think
change
it's
the
been
name.
years,
Yes,
State
it
Growth.
might mention Department of State Growth. It's Building Tasmania now.
Do they do a better job?
It's the same people, Gary.
Thanks for asking me that question, Councillor Bramage. And in terms of the Australia Day Honours investiture, I did attend that at Government House. It was one of the loveliest ceremonies for both Dr. Berryman and Mr. London, both OAMs now, both very humble in receiving those awards. It was, it is rather exciting to see our local people recognised for the wonderful things that they do.
That means I can say my doctor's an OM.
Yep.
You have a question for me, Councillor Bramage?
You gotta say yes. Sorry.
You're misbehaving, Councillor Bramage. However, you have a recommendation before you. Are there any further speakers to this motion? If not, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 9.11 minutes of other bodies and committees. 9.11.1 notes of the Waratah Community Board meeting April 10, 2026. The recommendation is that Council receives the notes from the Waratah Community Board meeting held on 10th of April 2026. Could I have a mover, please?
Yeah, I'll move that.
Councillor Bramage has moved. Could I have a seconder? Councillor Roberts. Councillor Bramage, do you wish to speak to this motion?
No.
Okay, are there any further speakers to this motion? If not, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 10, matters proposed for consideration in closed meeting. The recommendation is that the Council resolves by an absolute majority that the matters listed below be considered in closed meeting. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Roberts has moved. Could I have a seconder? Councillor Johnson. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. Item 11, closure of the meeting to the public. That the Council resolves by an absolute majority that go into closed meeting to consider the following matters that are listed there. Could I have a mover for the motion, please? Councillor Roberts. Could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Johnson. I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried unanimously. And this meeting closes at 6:06.
Just wait for Councillor.